So I stopped working a 9 to 5 so that now I can work a 24/7. While that's only partially a joke, it's strange how I work more than 8 hours these days, yet don't feel burnt out more often. Over the years, I've been able to experiment with different side hustles while I worked a full-time job in the animation industry, so by the time I no longer had a job, I had my selection of side hustles that now make up my full-time career. So no, this is not a glorification of overworking, but how I prime my day to be able to efficiently tackle these tasks, and that comes with a solid morning routine. If you were to leave this video with one word in mind, it's the word prime. Just like in painting or doing your makeup, you use a layer of primer to prepare the rest of your work to be done. To prime means to prepare for a situation or task, and as an artist who gets easily distracted, daydreams a lot, and likes to jump around many different projects, you need to prime your mornings to have a productive day. So what do I do? First off, I wake up early, but how? By scheduling something I would have to show up for that's also early in the morning. When I have nothing immediately to wake up for, I'll have a tendency to doom scroll and lay in bed too long, and in the past, I've done kickboxing, and recently I started this challenge called 75 Hard, which is a fitness and mental challenge that inspired me to take on kickboxing again. So now, first thing in the morning, I'll punch some bags. According to this article called Prioritizing Your Physical Wellness as an Independent Artist by Lee Down, the more difficulty you have remaining well, the more difficult it can be to maintain your art practice. Poor physical wellness also adds stress to your experience, which can disrupt your flow and derail your creative ideation process. For me, kickboxing is an activity that gets me in the flow state because you are so focused on your technique, breathing, and pacing of your energy usage that once I do that as the first thing in the morning, it carries on throughout the rest of my day's work. That's how I can easily get tasks done when it comes to filming videos for YouTube, working on my graphic novels, and creating comics for social media, is via constant reminding of what it's like to get into that flow state, and working out in the morning helps serve as that reminder. So trust me, I'm not becoming a fitness influencer, but before and after my class, I try my best to have more protein-dense meals, not only for my fitness, but it really helps with brain fog. I notice when I eat an imbalanced diet of mostly carbs, processed food, or snacks, I get sleepier throughout the day, more distracted, which ends up taking away time from focusing on work. I also stop craving snacks and foods so that if I had to power through a comic that day, I'm less likely to get up and keep eating snacks. So I think a lot of people tend to think that once you finish a workout and whatnot, you might be more tired because you're spending more energy on it, when at least personally for me, I feel like I get more energized from working out, and that energy then gets put back into my work. So I feel like it's also about finding what's the best workout for you. Like, I kind of like a little bit more intense, aggressive stuff, while others might prefer more low impact, soft type of workouts like yoga. It really depends on the person, and for the longest time I thought that I should get more into low impact workouts, but for me, I find that doing more energizing types of workouts kind of wake me up more and also make me feel more confident in myself. So while morning pages are told to be done first thing in the morning, honestly, I don't do them first thing in the morning. If you don't know what that is, it's an exercise from the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, where you write in a journal for 3 pages straight based on your stream of consciousness. For this to be sustainable for me as a habit, I prefer just doing it when the time is right, as long as I try to do it every day. How morning pages helps me is I dump out any thoughts that have been weighing me down. Once we communicate our negative thoughts out on paper, we're able to move along with the day a bit easier. On top of that, sometimes I just work out how I'm going to tackle my tasks for the day, as if I was in a meeting with myself via writing on paper. So while the artist's way is just one of the ways of brain dumping, I also go through around 3 rounds of refining my brain dump, so it becomes a schedule I can try to stick to. But also, it's not like these take up that much time of my day. So I just finished my 96th set of morning pages, so that's 96 times 3 is some high number of pages I've written throughout this first half of the year, and my approach to it has definitely changed. So morning pages is basically writing 3 pages straight of just flow of consciousness, whatever just comes to your mind. You don't need to write a narrative. In the beginning, I didn't even really write anything that was like that deep. The point is that you want to write as much shit so that by the time you're approaching like the 2-page mark, 3-page mark, all of the random junk that was sitting on the top of your brain was already expelled, and now you're getting to the real shit that is either blocking you in life or with your art. So I highly recommend this because I think it did subconsciously force me to be a little bit more thoughtful with the details behind my work, and also encourage me to be more vulnerable again in my comics and Instagram posts and these videos. Recently, I got a whiteboard so I can put everything I need to do organized in their respective sections. I felt like I just need a place where I could have an accessible big overview of everything going on that wouldn't be too difficult to alter or change. When I have something like this on my iPad or computer, it's not like I can have this be on display at all times, and even going through needing to click buttons, drag and drop things also adds a layer of friction for me, and you also can't beat that satisfying feeling of writing and erasing on a whiteboard. So this is actually only my second time using this whiteboard so far, but I think it's honestly helpful to just have something that's just out there for me to look at and just not have to click through windows or access through clicking apps. I just sometimes think we need more tangible, analog ways of doing things again with so much overwhelm on digital media. So the first way that I did this whiteboard was actually just listing everything I ever had to do under each category of the things going on in my life. And then once I kind of got that tackled, I now kind of am able to now prioritize things based on their urgency. So I'm just focusing on what is needed this week. So I'll just put like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, what are the things that are due in that order, so I kind of know what to tackle them by. And anything that is kind of like, it's in the somewhat near future, but it's not like immediately, I'll kind of just put it here so that I can still kind of just think about it and just remember that it's something that I'll have to eventually be doing. So maybe start doing some little bits of research regarding these topics now. But for the most part, these are things that require execution. So I think it helps to kind of make a first blob of this is everything I have to do. And then now you can narrow it down to these are things I have to at least do this week. So yeah, I find this method very helpful, and I just think the nostalgia of having a whiteboard also adds to the satisfaction of doing this. After I dump everything out, I then migrate these tasks into my new planner to know what to do with them. The whiteboard is just here as a master list of everything I have to do, and then I start delegating things into my planner. However, even when I write things in my planner, it always comes with the acceptance that not all the tasks will be perfectly accomplished, and if something is left incomplete, I just move that task to the next day or to the soonest available day I'm available to take on that task while still fulfilling it before a deadline. So now that everything is in my planner, I kind of consider it as like my transportable version of my whiteboard, because when I go out, when I go to the library or cafe to work, I don't really need to know about all of the other things that are 3 months ahead of me. The reason why I'm going to a cafe or a library is because in that moment, I am just tackling what's in here. So I kind of think of the whiteboard like the overall big picture, and my planner is for here's what I'm attacking this week or today. That's just how I kind of stay organized and stay less overwhelmed with all that I have to do. So once all this is done, I then head to the library these days to work. I stopped working in cafes because I always felt obligated to buy food, which doesn't always turn out to be the best financial or nutritious decision, and I find that the library is more convenient with things like having outlets and knowing that people come here to work or study, so I don't feel pressure to get kicked out. Recently, I just find that it's easier for me to focus when I'm out in public versus being at home because I have less distractions around me. I wouldn't say that it's the same as needing to work in an office job again though, because I'm just surrounded by other working people without the obligation to attend meetings or chat with them. But other than that, the rest of the day is now left to the execution portion of my work, which means it's the end of my morning routine. So if you would like to see what I actually do throughout the day or even the week as an artist, you can check out these videos here. But thank you for watching my morning routine, and I will see you all in the next one.